Snouty Pig.
Are we at full function?
Yes, we are. But perhaps we should be drawing down to be safe.
You take us offline.
Now, Joe, we gotta talk
Do it
about
now. Wind it down.
Danciro, mi peso runda.
Sandra? Sandra.
We're turning back. Let's go. Oh my God. Joe, are you there? Joe, there's been a breach. We're heading back to the containment shield.
Sandra, listen to me. You need to get out of there.
Run. If there's been a reactor breach, you won't last 5 minutes with or without the suits. Do you hear me?
I hear you. We're coming.
I'll meet them down there myself. Put the safety doors on manual override.
Joe, I cannot do that. Keep the doors open. My wife is still in there.
Look, I'm tired of talking to you about this. I want my son. I want to see my son. I want to know that he's all right. This guy knows.
He knows where he is. Musku wa doko da? I want my son. And I want my bag and discs.
And I want to talk to somebody in charge, not you. No, not you. I'm done talking to you. All right?
Well, you're looking at me right now like I'm in a fish tank, right? That's fine, because I know what happened here. And you keep telling everybody that this place is a death zone, but it's not. You're lying. Because what's really happening is that you're hiding something out there. I'm right, aren't I? My wife died here. Something killed my wife. And I have a right to know. I deserve answers. I want my son, and I want my bag, and I want my discs, and I want to talk to somebody who's in charge here. All right?
Brody.
No, I'm not talking to you.
Muto, massive unidentified terrestrial organism. It is, however, no longer terrestrial, it is airborne. Now, the world still thinks this was an earthquake, and it would be preferable that that remain so. Before we lost sight of it, it was headed east across the Pacific and had emitted enough EMP disruption to create havoc with our radar and satellite feeds and reduce us, for the moment, to a strictly visual pursuit. I emphasize for the moment, because we will get on our game and we will find this thing. It is imperative that we do so. Millions of lives at risk. All I need to know from you right now is, will it work?
high-risk mission. That train out there is a national asset, not Amtrak. We good to go?
Just about.
From the look of the casings out in those Minutemen ICBMs, I'm guessing the digital module's been bypassed and you're prepping for full analog retrofit.
This is my jaw supposed to drop. I get it, you're EOD, but I already got my crew and they know what they're doing.
Aim the pointy end at the monsters, right, Sarge?
When was the last time you let one of your guys put their fingers in a live bomb? Look, this is what I do. This is my job. Master Sergeant. My family's in the city. Okay, I need to get on that train.
I think it's really hard to define why Godzilla stood the test of time. There's many, many answers, and I think that for me, there's something deep in our DNA as humans that for millions of years we lived, amongst nature, and there was always this threat of an animal was going to come and attack us every day. And now we live in the modern world and we've pushed nature away and we've got giant houses. Still inbuilt in us is this expectation that the animal's going to come, and our huts have got bigger, like 30 stories high, so our nightmares and fears get 30 stories high, and it's sort of, as absurd as it is, I think for that reason it taps into something, it just feels right. You kind of expect it, like, of course Godzilla was going to come. I knew it deep down, I always knew he was coming.
If you went around the world with like a silhouette of any character you could ever think of, I think probably one of the most recognizable characters that the whole world would spot is Godzilla. Like, that silhouette is in all popular culture, and it doesn't even matter if you've ever seen the movie or not. Everybody sees that thing that looks like a giant dinosaur over a city, and they just know it's Godzilla, and they can't really tell you much more beyond that. I think the vast majority of people have heard of Godzilla. They've seen a couple of movies maybe, but no one's really done it justice. Like, no one's really got back to the heart of what he's about and done like a modern, serious take. When they start seeing the trailers come out and they start seeing this is a serious take on this idea, and it's like, forget the other movies, like, we're going for it, this is going to be the ultimate Godzilla movie, then I think, I'm hoping that it'll attract people who have never seen a Godzilla film or know very little about him other than he's a giant, massive monster.
As amazing as it is to see the spectacle and all the epic imagery that comes with a film like this, it kind of means nothing if you don't care about the characters that it's affecting, and so it's really important to us that there's, as well as like being afraid and suspense in the movie, like emotion. I wanted you to actually feel something, and thankfully, like, everybody, all my favourite people I've ever wanted to work with, managed to get them. They're all secret Godzilla fans, I found out.
I grew up loving Godzilla. That's partly why I'm doing this movie, is because I was so enamored with Godzilla. More so than King Kong. I was more of a Godzilla man than King Kong. And I think why, logic of a boy, is that Godzilla didn't apologize for anything. He just destroyed everything in his wake, and that was so boy, crush everything. The component of the movie that attracted me most, and that was the father-son relationship that my character has with Aaron Johnson, his character. And at first, I joked because they said, well, it's got a really strong father-son relationship in it, and we want you to be a part of this movie. And I said, great, who's playing my father? And he said, oh, no, it's, I'm kidding, I surmised that. Joe is very, very good at his work, and he sees an anomaly in some sound patterns that others are trying to write off as earthquakes or something. And when I'm looking at, the data doesn't support that prognosis that it's just an earthquake and ride through it. But he says that there's something more here, and we need to possibly even shut down the nuclear plant in order to get to the bottom of it. And they don't want to listen to him. What makes Godzilla 2014 different from the others is that it's matured. The whole sensibility of how to make a movie like this has matured, because it's not just about this beast and how are we going to control it, kill it, capture, how is that even possible?
I didn't want to just introduce Godzilla like in 2 or 3 shots. So we took like this 5-minute moment where we really tease it out, and you really, I want to see him, come on, come on. And we just keep teasing it, layer and layer it up, until finally there's this massive reveal at the Hawaii International Airport, where he's fully revealed in all his glory for the first time.
I don't like putting a camera anywhere a camera can't go. So I don't like getting footage of the creatures in a way that would be impossible. So it either has to be a helicopter, handheld, someone on the ground, you know, or we've set up a camera move, knowing this event was going to happen, but we're not psychic, so it shouldn't be like perfect.
When I first met Gareth to discuss this project, and I was so impressed that he knew so much about the history of Japan's relationship with nuclear power, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, atomic bomb, blah 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 blah, and he totally understands theme of the original films, and I responded to his courage in reviving those ideas again.
What you're going to see out of this film is, I take it as almost a conspiracy theory in a way, and it connects all the worlds, all the different countries really well in the world, and I think for the first time out of the stories I know, there's a really great smaller story to it all that represents the repeat of generations as well, and family, and the importance of family. It's not just about monsters. I play Elle, Ford's wife, and we have a son together. And because of his job, he hasn't really been around much. And at the beginning of the film, we're trying to figure out how to make a relationship that's basically abroad, long distance, work out when you have a little kid to take care of, and with his best interest in mind. And right when that happens, he has to be taken away from us again to help his own father.
I play a lieutenant, EOD officer who disarms bombs, basically. He ends up getting dragged in and you know, sort of slowly trying to sort of maneuver his way closer back to home. There is no other option but to try and, you know, the more people on, hands-on, the chances we can stop these monsters. And, you know, that's why it's so emotional and heartbreaking, because there's all these challenges and, you know, throughout that he's being forced into positions that are possibly going to end his life, and also, you know, and his child and wife.
Snouty Pig.